What I want to talk about today is expanded distribution, or global distribution, or as I call it for short, going wide. Is it worth it? Should you do it? Do I do it? Yeah, I think the short answer is yes, I do it, but I do it on selected books, really. I wouldn't dream of doing it on a low content book because I'd like to keep the price down as low as I possibly can in order to compete, really. But to do that and go in an expanded distribution, you have to up your price. And I'll show you that in a minute with some screen recording. You have to up the price in order to meet the expanded distribution, and you actually then get less of a profit or less royalties. Now at 60% on a children's book, say, I might get a couple of subs, but with expanded distribution I'll probably get a fraction, just a fraction of that. Maybe let's go with 20% of that. So it's a heck of a lot less. Nearly getting me swearing. It's a heck of a lot less. But your book is getting out there. So it might hit in the USA, it might hit Walmart. In the UK, it might hit some of the big bookshops here. I know my children's books, some of my children's books have got a bit of a reach now. But I'm not getting the royalties. But that's okay, because the book is getting known. It's like advertised, like I'm paying for advertising without actually paying. It's just that I'm not getting as much. So I can live with that. Right, okay, what I'm going to show you here is how this looks. So, as you can see here, US dollars, $9.99. Minimum I can sell it for, because expanded distribution is checked, is $9.13. So I've rounded it up. UK, minimum I can sell it for is £5.13. So I've rounded it up to $5.99. My royalties in the US are $2.34. Royalties in the UK, $1.54. Don't sound like very much, but they're enough. It all depends how many books you put out and how many you sell. So without expanded distribution, all that changes. Now I can reduce the price to $6.08 if I wanted to. But obviously my royalty would drop right down. But that's okay if I was really wanting to push a book cheaply. In the UK, I can now sell it for £3.42. But I've taken myself out of expanded distribution from shops and retailers, big retailers possibly. So I don't want that for this book. If it was if it was a lined journal, yeah, I would. I'd get it down as cheaply as I could probably. But 35 cents and 35 pence here. And that's fine. It might seem like next to nothing, and really, is it worth it when you've got to up your price here? Yeah. I think a lot of people have been upset that they've looked online and they've gone with expanded distribution. They've looked online and they've found their book in a lot of shops. But with the likes of the bookshops, you know they are making a bit of a profit. But so am I. It's a bit of a profit as opposed to a lot of a profit. But like I say, that's cool, because more and more people are getting to know my book. I see a lot of people don't like to use Amazon, which is a real shame. So where else are they going to find your book? Well, as a self-publisher, you're going to have to find retailers. So you're not really going to be able to do that while you're selling through expanded distribution on Amazon. So you take it off expanded distribution, you get your own ISBNs, and you try selling independently through shops. You call in, do you want to buy my book? And all. It's a big job that you've got there to do that. You know, it's massive. And people don't have time for that. They just want to write another book. They don't want to be messing about with those kind of the book work, the accountancy and everything else. When you've got all your books on Amazon or a couple of print-on-demand companies, your paperwork's quite simple. It's an in and out thing, and it's one company or two companies, even a few companies. But when you're going from shop to shop, or department store, big department stores, you know, or big retailers, I should say, your paperwork is huge. It'll take the joy out of writing. Whereas you write your book, you enjoy writing your book or producing a book, and you publish it, and that's it. You sit back and you get your royalties, and your accountancy is that company paid me this much and I spent that much. It's just really basic, and that's what I like about working mainly with Amazon, with the KDP platform. And you've also got Amazon Prime. Now, not everybody has Amazon Prime, but you know, I mean, I recommend it, that's for sure. The amount of times I've had books published and then I've wanted a copy, and I don't buy author copies, I buy the retail copies, because I'm getting some money back off it anyway. But I like to give it that little bit of a push. It might be only one copy, but I don't like things on it. I don't like this is an author copy or whatever. And it takes a lot longer to get an author copy through the post. Whereas once you've published the book, once it's accepted, it could be that day, I could order it, I could have a copy of it the following day. And that's what I like about Prime, and that's what a lot of customers like about Prime. Customers will look at books in other shops and online, and they'll go, okay, it's going to cost me another 2 sobs to have this posted, and I won't get it till next week. But if I buy it on Amazon, I'll get it tomorrow, free of postage, because I'm paying a subscription to Amazon Prime every year. Yeah, I love Amazon Prime, and I think a lot of people do. If they can afford to spend that little bit for Prime, I recommend it. And a lot of customers would sooner buy using Prime, because you know it's guaranteed. You've got to, if there's any problems, if it doesn't turn up, if your customers don't get it, they order another one, and they deal with Amazon, not you. So what can stop your book from actually getting expanded distribution? Well, I've got a children's book, or a few children's books, that won't meet expanded distribution simply because there's too much colour. Now I use full bleed, so it's edge to edge, and if I use a lot of dark inks, like could be a lot of nighttime scenes or rich reds and blacks, you know, dark colours on every page, or even a third of the book like that, it can be a lot of ink, and it might not meet that. Even using premium ink, which I do with Amazon, it's a lot of ink, and I think it can either be a problem with the paper, or it can be just too expensive for Amazon to use. And instead of giving you a better price or a higher price, so you can go in expanded distribution because of the amount of colour, it just stops it. So yeah, it could be more of a manufacturing or publishing, printing issue than just simply the cost, because they can add the cost. You could say, well, okay, you've used a lot of ink, so it's an extra sub because of it. But that's not what they're doing. Other things like the sizing of the book, you know, Amazon only allows certain sizes to fit in with expanded distribution, and you might be able to get a size of a book in the UK that you can't get in the US, for example. So it's not going to make it. But that's okay. Well, you look and you find out, when you click on expanded distribution, you can have a little look. There's an option to view the criteria, and you can go through it all and say, well, okay, well, I'll make sure it's this and I'll make sure it's that size, and it won't have too much colour, and you can actually pick through it. There's no ISBN number on it, all these different things, and it'll show you exactly how. But once you've accepted expanded distribution through Amazon, you really can't accept expanded distribution with anybody else. You can't put expanded distribution on Lulu or Ingram Spark and on Amazon, because they're all selling with each other. There's certain situations where you can opt out. Some will offer that, where you can opt out. Say you want expanded distribution through Lulu. I'm not saying this option's available there, but I do know it's available with some print-on-demand companies. But do not sell it on Amazon. So that way it won't conflict with what Amazon are selling or your original listing. And that's a possibility. But Amazon does suggest that you do not go expanded distribution with certain products with other print-on-demand companies, because it will conflict, and you don't want to be losing your account. You really got to stay in good stead. I mean, your whole business could rely on it. So don't even push it. Don't even risk it thinking, okay, yeah, I can, they might not know. Well, they'll know. There's a big link there. It's just not worth the risk. So if you're going to go with expanded distribution, or if you're going to go wide, as I like to refer to it, because I keep forgetting what expanded distribution's called. My guy ended up saying global or something like that, so I just say wide. I'm going to say wide. So if you go wide with Amazon, stick with that. And some profit is better than no profit. It's advertising, it's pushing your book out there. If it becomes a popular book, if it gets seen somewhere in a magazine, or someone's actually using it in a video, or reading it in a video, it can go through the roof, and people will just buy it from anywhere. They'll type in Amazon, they'll type in whatever, and that's how your book really will get out there. So no problem. I'd go with it.